Hello guys, I'm Shopee King back with you. So title of the video. Hajime Ippo round 15-12 came out earlier today, and we're finally back. Felt like, quite some time. We didn't really know what's going to happen. Hope George really solved some health issues. Hope he's feeling better now. And that's all you can really hope for. I will say YouTube is a funny thing. I get an email saying so and so, and it's just okay. That's whatever. Uh, it is what it is with that. But as for a recap, Sendo Ricardo Martinez is still at it, and we're still waiting for whatever Sendo Miyato is doing in training. Hopefully, we get a chance to see that, right? Hopefully. So, I do know the chapter title. I do know what kind of happens in the first page. So let's no more point of wasting any more time. Let's get right into this. And blam! Ricardo hits Sendo once again, but it seems close to a dual exchange. Can we see Sendo's punch landed on Ricardo's guard? And the audience says, "Ah, another direct hit," and Sendo's hitting nothing but guard. It ain't even an exchange. The heck do you do against a defense like that? You see smoke just Ricardo's gloves. We see something splat to the ground. The crowd is shocked. We see the full page spread of Ricardo Martinez is now bleeding from the lip. The chapter title says, "Aiming for a dual exchange, round 15-12. Starting off round 4 at a disadvantage, Sendo's new plan is aiming for an exchange. Will this be his breakthrough?" And the audience says, "Ricardo's mouth, he's bleeding. And it seems like Sendo's laughing. He's like, ka ka ka. That's made me feel better. Felt like I was fighting a machine, but it's red. You bleed the same. Or you bleed the same as me." You get this look at the ceiling. Did his punch connect? Oh yeah. No, he blocked it. But he's bleeding anyway. And if he's bleeding, that means he got some damage. And the crowd erupts. Everybody's happy. And believe this, yeah, it's Miata saying, "Hey, you're a Ricardo fanatic, right?" And Miata continues, "Have you ever seen Ricardo bleed from a punch before?" And he posts like once. In his fight with Wallercoon recently, it was a tad pit from the corner of his mouth. But he had gold in close range to finish him off. I assume he didn't care if he took a few punches to secure the win. And Miata's like, "What do you think of this situation?" Ippo is silent. And Ippo says, "It's different. He's at middle range. And being closed in on. At least I think so." Miata says, I'm the same. He's on the defensive, but he can't afford to follow up with his right after blocking that punch. The situation is changing. If he can catch him just a little sharper." Ippo says, if he hits him just a little deeper." You see the shot of the crowd, just a little more, they say. And the crowd says, "Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more." And Sendo's like, sorry the cheers are so damn loud. That's my whole town for you." You get this emotionless expression from Ricardo. And Sendo's coach like, "I can't read his face, but the pressure must be finally getting to him." And Sendo says, "Oh, all done punching." And Miata's like, "I mean, in the first place, this isn't the kind of bounty who are waiting around for a dual exchange." And Ippo's like, that if he won't come to him. Sendo says, "I guess we see blood pumping. I'll come to you. For the past while, my heart's been getting louder, has been even louder than all these cheers." And he dashed forward. "Let's go!" Because Sendo's missed, but it grazes Ricardo's hand. And Ricardo put the fire went straight down the pipe. And Sendo says, "I can see a fucker. Even if, wait, I can see a fucker. And if this punch I can see, I can take as many of them as I need." And blam. And that's in the chapter. So we come back from a long break. We get some involvement with the fight. Everybody's reacting to Ricardo's bleeding. I guess Miata didn't watch that Wally fight, which makes sense, but Ippo believes he's being closed in on, and everybody's cheering for Sendo. Sendo's close, like I can't read his face, but the pressure must be getting to him. I'm lukewarm on the chapter. I really don't feel much from it, but from that same merit, it's just Sendo, buddy. If you could see the punch, right? You can see the punch coming straight down the pipe. It's the same jab you've been seeing for the past 4 rounds, right? The same one. Well, 3 rounds including this one. So why are you taking the punch? Well, you can just slip it. And if you could slip that punch, couldn't you step in a little bit more like you did against Shigeta and punch him clean? Now, if he does pair it like he's a Freddy Gonzalez, then you'll still do some damage to him. But it's just, you know, when I read this chapter, I was intrigued, alright? He punched through the guard for the first time with a damage trap or two. Now, we already seen Ippo do this years ago, which Mishima brought it up against Shinobu, and we've seen him do it against multiple people. How Ippo can punch somebody so hard through the guard. He even did it against Death God Gonzalez. But it's just, this could have happened like 4 rounds ago. It happens now. What? Ricardo's right hand is so it's more than likely Ricardo's right hand is messed up again. It easily is. And Miata's logic will, well, he's not gonna throw that right hand after taking a punch like that. Hey, look, like Sendo hasn't done anything to cause Ricardo to truly fear him. It's still just a what if. It's still just a whiff. It's still just a Billy McCullum. Like he hasn't done anything to him. Literally, he hasn't done anything. Like this chapter is the most damage he's ever done to him. Everything else has just been grazing shots and messing up his arms. So more than likely, because of that last punch we just saw at the beginning of this chapter, Ricardo's hand is dead again. Because when it happened, his body shook. I didn't think anything of it. And when y'all said that comment, I was like, But now I thought about it. Why not? If he's going for a dual exchange, why throw out this jab, and why not just throw it straight down the pipe? And did we see earlier, before Sendo threw his left hand, it grazed his hand. Suspicion? Nah. I think that's factual. But I don't know. The fact that Ippo says you haven't seen Ricardo bleed before, I doubt that. I doubt Ippo read that much tape. And when Miata said, you're a Ricardo fanatic, right? Since when has Ippo ever been a Ricardo fanatic? Somebody say, why would I say that? Ippo has never seen Ricardo Martinez or heard of this guy until he fought Dante. And even then, when he fought Dante, it was Mysterious who split his face open. For about a few hundred chapters after that. He was a fanatic when? When did this occur? Well, it could be after the Dante fight. Name one time Ippo was like, boy, I'm doing this to counter that Ricardo, or I'm going after Ricardo. Like, nothing. Literally nothing. Which goes back to my whole point of why Ippo lost. Ippo, for the last pass, ever since he didn't fight Miata, which was like what? The Randy Boy Jr. arc? What was before the Randy Boy Jr.? I gotta remember. I just did that the second video. I gotta remember what was before the Randy Boy Jr. fight. He fought that old dude, Takei. I think he might have fought like Malcolm around that time. I could be, yeah, he fought before the Randy Boy Jr. Because Malcolm brought up who ended his aspects of being anything, and it was Randy Boy. Yeah, he fought he fought Malcolm. So ever since then, So around chapter 700 or something, right? All the way up to 1200. No. Yeah, 1200. Ippo has barely been acting on doing it for the coach. He has had no ambition to box. He's never brought up what it means to be strong. Even a girl who hasn't seen him the past 8 years straight told Ippo to his face he did not change. This whole thing about boxing, you want to talk about a theme or a message, what it's about. And which I hate the whole theme stuff because I'm not going to sacrifice a good story for some stupid thing that butchers the whole story and make the story seem stupid. But it thematically makes sense for a character to be. I'm not. That's a whole different subject. But the whole point. I won't say the whole point. A major point of Ippo is for Ippo to start boxing, to be a better person, and to know what it means to be strong. The closest he ever got to understanding that was against Sendo, on which even after he beat Sendo, it was question mark. Because arguably, you could argue a third fight with Sendo would do it, or, most importantly, only the fight with Miyata would do it, for him to understand what it means to be strong. He was Ippo's first opponent, in the rivalry, in the back and forth, in the intrigue, and in the studying, and all this build up after chapter after chapter after chapter. Miyata gets better, Ippo gets better, Miyata gets better, Ippo gets better, Ippo develops in the fight, Miyata develops in the fight. All of this has been leading up to these two fighting, and then we get the magical. Well, some things aren't destined to happen, and it's a coincidence Miyata has been wasting his career away doing nothing. That's why I was hyped up. We could have got Mishima versus Sendo. That could have been an opportunity. Cause like Sendo was big, but I don't know. Mishima was like what? Yeah, 135. Yeah. I don't think it's impossible, but it's just be going up and going back down. Cause like Sendo has lost like twice, and he never like gained weight. Mishima lost one time, and he couldn't make featherweight no more. He lost again. No, he got disqualified. Then he couldn't make weight. No, yeah. Cause that, yeah. He's at Aoki's weight now. Yeah, that's what he fought Shinobu. So he lost against Ippo, went up the middleweight. He had that slug out fight with someone more, got banned again, and then he got for the Pacific Championship. He did something to get banned again. I could be wrong. I know it happened like 2 to 3 times. Yeah. It happened twice because it just gets someone more and it gets that other guy. We end up doing something. But yeah. That's what it happened. So it's just that's why I was interested in those other fights because Miyatas ain't doing anything. He's wasting a whole lot of time, and it's just by coincidence. As soon as Ippo stopped fighting, Itagaki becomes trash. Coincidence, right? It's almost like Itagaki, if you just would, fought the man like you was supposed to, or eventually leave the gym to fight him, none of this would have happened. Bang. What can you say? What can you say? But he's supposed to be a fanatic, right? Okay, whatever you say. And then having these two analyze the situation, if we just hit him a little bit more, and he's just like, I don't expect like one punch, like a smash from Sendo to drop Ricardo Martinez. I just don't. I don't think it's impossible for Sendo to not be able to hurt him. I don't see it happening in one punch. That would just be. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. If that was the case. But his final page, I don't know if it's George. Now this could have been. He could have drawn this chapter when he was sick. In the next chapter, that's the thing. So the way the manga industry works, right? Current day, is when they're making these chapters, right? When they're making these big ordeals and this big old thing, the chapter that gets released is 2 chapters behind the author's work. So that's when they go on break, it's not the fact that they don't got the other 2 chapters ready. It's the fact that the author can't make like I'll just say the recent chapter's coming out, right? The author's working 2 chapters ahead. They got the other chapter ready on standby, ready for print. But the one the author got, he's not done with it. So he would go on break. So the following week, the chapter would go on break. And then that next week, they'll have 2 chapters and they'll be moving on, so on and so on. Right? So that's how that works. Right? So it could be a case like there's no the end at the end of this chapter. There's like it doesn't have it. He just gets punched in his face and there's just blood everywhere. So more than likely George didn't have enough time, and whatever ailment he had, he got sick. And this is probably gonna be like a 15-page chapter instead of like 11. But do I think Sendo's in a good position? It depends on what this last page means, really. Now it could be this punch popped him, and this next punch after that, Sendo's gonna go straight to sleep. That's a possibility. Cause I've been waiting for George. It's like if we're not gonna see what like, I refuse to believe that Miata training stuff was a waste. I refuse. Like we spent chapters building up to this whole this anti-Ricardo strategy, and it's just we've seen nothing of it. So that's rather option one. Ricardo puts him to sleep, and all those chapters are a waste. Option two, Sendo gets dropped again, or he slips, or some mistake that happened. That's gonna take at least 5 more pages. Or option three, right? Sendo takes the punch, and he follows up with a punch. Wait, 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 whoa, 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 wait. We gotta reanalyze the tape. When he gets punched in his face, right, and there's blood everywhere, there was a misanalyzing of the tape. The ref is watching it again, and when he get punched in his face, Sendo's left hand is moving. It's not stopping. It's in motion. You see the effect? So are you telling me that Sendo has figured out the timing, and the next chapter is going to be a double-page spread or a full-page spread of a dual exchange happening? Now, sure, he still took most of the damage. Sure, he's doing a dual exchange like he's Samuel Moore, but which is ironic since they're friends. But now I think about it. Is Samuel Moore here? Wait a minute. Nah. Pulling my wait. Samuel Moore is not here, right? Should be. Then again, he wasn't there for it when he won the Japanese championship. Samuel Moore, you should be ashamed of yourself, buddy. You should be ashamed. Shame. Great shame upon thee. I just thought about it. Like he said, wait. Samuel Moore isn't here, but he showed up to watch Mishiba get massacred on that Miata type timing. I only came here to watch Mukadayuchi lose. Wow, that what we're doing, Miata? Okay then. But yeah, apparently, after reanalyzing the tape, Sendo is going for a dual exchange. So I believe the page after this, probably George is working on the dual exchange page, whether it missed or not. But I do strongly believe that Ricardo's right hand is dead at the current moment. Now, if some way Ricardo fakes this, and he goes for a 1-2, and like that'll be a magical panel. If Sendo connects with his punch, and Ricardo connects with his left hand, with his right hand, that could be magical, straight down the pipe. That would be a cross counter for the ages. That would be absolute. But who would take more damage though? Because if Ricardo's second punch is in motion right now, if Sendo makes it first, Ricardo's done. If Ricardo makes it first, Sendo's done. Like cold. Cause that 1-2 would be quite vicious. But then again, you gotta factor in, did he take any damage when Sendo punched through his guard? So I don't know. Wait. Things might have got. Now this is still the end of the chapter. The most of the chapter point still stands, but after reanalyzing the tape, we might have something magical going on here. Just might. I don't know. This does change the weather. All right. We thought it was gonna be an F1 tornado. It turns out it's gonna be heavy rain for somebody. I don't know. That did change the perspective. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sendo made it proud. Now when I first read it, I took it as Sendo make this point and blam. Possibly Ricardo just shut him down, right? But the way this punch look, so like Sendo was just bracing for an impact, and he's about to follow up with a. But nah, there's no way. If Ricardo gets caught by this dual exchange, even if it grazes, he will be dropped. I don't see him getting knocked down like completely stretched out like an Ippo character across his back, struggling to get up. Like he's one of them sumo wrestlers from Baki. I don't see that happening. But he will fall to it. He will get knocked off balance. If he connects with this, it's gonna be a match. I will say this final page does leave things more open than I was talking. But I'm still waiting. Cause the smash in some form or way is gonna play a role. Cause it's rather that the smash was hyped up, just the cause Ricardo's supercomputer brain to overwork, and the smash was never coming, and he gonna hit him with the knuckle drop and skim Ricardo's scalp. It really is gonna be that, or the whole Miata thing, training thing was just up in the air. Cause Sendo's coach, like I can't read his face. It's not surprising that he'll have a good poker face, but mm, 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 mm. It's a lot more open-ended than what I thought it was. After reanalyzing the tape, I don't know how I didn't see it. I saw like the middle, like the punching part. I was like, I didn't see Sendo's left hand. Oh, well, I didn't bring Sendo's left hand to focus. I was just looking at it. Just, oh, that's it. Look at it again, just like something magical could be taking place right here. Something magical. Well, I don't know. But we are in January, boys and girls. What was that I said? We might be here till February. Oh my gosh, I was right. Hey, look, I'm not a psychic, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's no way I could have predicted George would have got sick. There's no way. There's like that. That's impossible. But the next chapter, it will pretty much be February. Like you can't make this. you can't make this up. You can't. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts about it. I really hope we get some stuff context. Hope we get to catch up with the Takamura or the AJ Dante. All the tides are officially turning. Like I said before, alright, I still got my own personal beliefs of Ricardo having like an in-style fighting El Diablo Machismo type form, like I've been mentioning. Because it exists in fun form. It does. We just don't know what the full scope of it is. Because before the Wally chapter, I was theorizing it. Even up to this point, I'm still theorizing it. So that's why when I first read it, and Sendo's coach is like, I can't read his face. I figured a transformation under the skin switch, and when Sendo gets popped at the end, that was going to happen. But it seems like it's not. So, the next two chapters can be the greatest exchange of punches we've ever seen in Ippo. It is possible. It is possible. It's not that far of a stretch, boys and girls. It's not. When you look at it, it's just it all swings on how the punch connects to Ricardo's head. It all depends that. Because if it's like a clean one, unprotected, full force, like I always say, oh no. Remember what I used to say like a while back? Only an idiot would duel exchange with Sendo. I remember that, and I made that whole fight analysis with Gonzalez video, where people wanted to get mad that Gonzalez lost. He chose to fight like that, like a dummy. No, you never duel exchange with Sendo, never. Are there any risks with this? I don't believe so. I was thinking about the whole AJ Dante and him putting his elbow up. But then again, in that Death God Gonzalez fight, Sendo showed that with a broken hand or not, it doesn't matter. It's all the same to him. So, I still say we got a whole lot of fight left. So, February is going to be an interesting month. It's not that long. We might get the final chapter of this in March, depending on how it goes. But I don't see this fight going past round 6. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Round 7 at most, but by that point, somebody's going to be struggling to even make it off the chair. So, yeah. But I've been through guys thoughts and opinions with the chapter. And what are your thoughts about Martinez versus Sendo and what's gonna happen next? 'Cause it seems like Sendo claims he can see him. He has not done the head slip, but I would say this: the only credit I would give to why Sendo cannot do this head slip he did against Miyata is because Miyata doesn't do the Mexican ghost jab like Ricardo Lopez or Ricardo does. So technically, he can't. It's not. He can't see it like the action of it. He just see it coming in front of him in the seconds before it connects to him. So he can't see immediately when it happens, and he can only see after it happens, after the bullet been pulled, after the trigger been pulled, and the bullet is about to leave the chamber. So he can only brace himself. If it's a case like that, then I would explain that. But that's the only leeway outside of that. You guys thoughts and opinions, like, comment, subscribe, and who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Peace.
Keine Regeln mehr. Er besitzt nur eine Waffe.